Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenas noches. Vamos a continuar con los videos de la preparación para la prueba TOEFL. Estuvimos revisando un poco de los capítulos que se llevan en este curso de study.com para la preparación del TOEFL, así que vamos a continuar, estamos en el capítulo 2 recién, empezando el capítulo 2 que es la parte reading, la parte de reading. Son varios capítulos, así que vamos a empezar a ver. Ahora voy a compartirles mi pantalla para seguir revisando esto. Ok, ya se está viendo mi pantalla. Y nos vamos por aquí. Ya está. Perfecto, estamos por acá. Entonces, habíamos visto ya la parte inicial del capítulo 1 sobre el examen TOEFL IBT, algunas precisiones, información importante. Estuvimos tomando también notas acá de los tipos de preguntas que vienen en reading, en listening, writing y speaking. Ahorita estamos en la parte de reading, donde venían preguntas relacionadas a los tipos de preguntas: complete words, read in daily life, read an academic passage. Y algo que también vimos en el último video es que en la parte del reading section teníamos 7 tipos de tareas por hacer en las pruebas, que es la parte de complete the words, el C-test, vocabulary in context, poder relacionar una palabra y justo eso pertenece a Reading Daily Life, de la lectura a un significado. Big Picture, que eso también pertenece a Reading Daily Life y también pertenece a Read an Academic Discussion. Acá lo importante era entender ideas principales. Tenemos también la parte de Detail, que está en Reading Daily Life, Read an Academic Discussion, que es identificar hechos, definiciones, ejemplos. Negative Statement Task, que esto está en Read in Daily Life, que es poder conocer información que no está presente en el texto, que no está. Inference, que está también en Read Daily Life, Read an Academic Discussion, que es poder dar conclusiones sobre la información que, claro, no ha sido mencionada directamente, ¿no? Sino indirectamente. Y la última parte, que es el Rhetorical Purpose, que es también poder dar conclusiones acerca de por qué el autor está incluyendo cierta información en específico. Así que nos quedamos aquí. Vimos la parte de Reading Section Overview, que es justamente lo que nos ha permitido tener este resumen. Y estamos ahora en Vocabulary in Context. Vemos que son, a ver, por ejemplo, acá hay un capítulo de Reading, son 4 capítulos que tenemos de Reading. Tenemos también, bueno, en este caso son 5 capítulos de listening. Tenemos 4 capítulos de writing y 3 capítulos de speaking. Así que vamos a hoy ponernos la meta de culminar todo el capítulo 2, que es el capítulo de reading. Así que vamos a empezar. Ya vimos esta parte de aquí. Entramos a Vocabulary in Context, Reading. Si se está. Perfecto. Creo que se está escuchando muy bien y la transmisión sigue bien. Perfecto. Entonces vamos a ver. Vocabulary in Context, Reading Strategy. Vamos a abrir esto acá. Ya. The lesson on task related. Well. Okay. The lesson on tasks related to defining vocabulary and context provide tips on how to recognize these tasks, strategy steps for approaching them, and a detailed walkthrough on applying these steps. Okay, vamos a ver. Test context. Vocabulary in context tasks are ones that evaluate if you can figure out si puedes entender el significado de una palabra dada, eh, cómo y dónde este se ha mostrado en un extracto del texto. Vocab en context tasks, las tareas de vocabulario en contexto, no solo se muestran en los exámenes y en clase. Es imposible para nosotros saber cada palabra y, y nosotros sabemos que las palabras solas, claro, no, las palabras solas de por sí, eh, don't convey meaning. Vamos a ver qué significa convey.
Son las 9 en punto.
Vamos a ver, creo que es. No tienen, no presentan, no expresan. Ah, don't convey. To express a thought, feeling, or idea so that is understood by other people. Ok, convey, express. Convey, express. Vamos a cerrar esta publicidad. Ya, convey, express. Entonces, sabemos que las palabras solas no expresan significado. Vocabulary can take on different meanings. El vocabulario puede tomar diferentes significados dependiendo en cómo y cuándo han sido usados. Okay. Task components. Vocabulary in context tasks are usually questions attached to a reading passage. These ask you to define or select synonyms for a term or expression. This task might look like the word X is closest in meaning to, or what does X mean, or X most likely means. Okay. Sample question, una pregunta de muestra. Ya, vamos a responder entonces. Acá hay una strategy, walkthrough, vamos a ver cuál es el significado porque no sé cuál es el significado. Y conclusion, así que vamos a empezar a leer. Vamos a poner las pilas con esto. San Francisco's unexpected mascot, Fog. Fog es, para que tenlo presente. Fog. A ver, debe haber a weather condition, a confused and uncertain, to make something uncertain, mass of cloud, consistent small, okay, cover the whole fog. Okay. San Francisco unexpected mascot, fog. San Francisco es, primero, vamos a averiguar la word misty para poder identificar la llama. La word misty. No sé si está bien pronunciado, pero ahora vamos a ver la pronunciación. San Francisco is famous for its fog, and locals have even given it a name, Car the Fog. This playful nickname began on social media around 2010, when someone created a Twitter account pretending to be the city's fog. The posts, written in a humorous and sometimes dramatic style, quickly became popular. Since then, Carr has also appeared on Instagram and other platforms, gaining thousands of followers. Fog forms in San Francisco when warm inland air meets cool, moist air from the Pacific Ocean. This happens most in summer when temperatures are much higher inland than along the coast. The fog can roll in quickly, covering bridges, parks, and neighborhoods in a thick white blanket. From a distance, Carr appears as a thick cloud, but up close, he appears more like sprinkling rain or mist. While some residents complain about the damp and chilly weather, others enjoy the beauty and mystery it brings. Cardiff Fog has become a modern cultural symbol for the city. Tourists take photos of the misty Golden Gate Bridge, and locals share car sightings online. The name and personality have even been used in books and art, although although car may sometimes block the sun. Many people feel that San Francisco wouldn't be the same without its famous fog. Ok, acá tenemos la palabra Misty. Y vamos a copiar esto de acá. Vamos a copiarnos todo esto de aquí para llevarlo acá en las notas. A ver. Vamos a ponerlo por acá. Ah, genial. Sí se pudo. Uy, perdón. Un poquito más grande para... Ya. Está bien. Perfecto. Entonces, Misty aparece aquí. Vamos a resaltarlo. Está. Y palabras, acá también aparece mist. Ponen aquí. Mist. Hay palabras que no conozco, así que vamos a averiguar sus significados. Mr. Brink, mist. Ya, creo que es. Creo que es lo que está relacionado a Misty. Okay, the word misty most likely means foggy, very sunny, warm, dry, or noisy. Okay. Si nos vamos a ver aquí rápidamente. From a distance, Carr appeared as a thick cloud, but up close, he appears more likely. Oh, sorry. He appears more like a sprinkly rain or mist. Mhm. Like sprinkly rain or mist. Y acá dice, tourists take a photo of the misty Golden Gate Bridge. Creo que no hay algo relacionado a mist por aquí. Ahora vamos a darle control F. Control V. Mist. Ay, sí, solamente eso sé. Vamos a cerrar. Okay. Fog forms in San Francisco when warm inland air meets cool, moist air from the Pacific Ocean. This happens most in summer when temperatures are much higher inland than along the coast. The fog can roll in quickly, covering bridges, parks, and neighborhoods in a thick white blanket. From distance, car appears as a thick cloud. Yeah. A ver, el problema es que no conozco ya. But up close, he appears more like a sprinkling rain or mist. Warm and dry, very sunny, or foggy. Por ejemplo, acá dicen, the name and personality have been used in books and art. Although car may sometimes block the sun. Estamos hablando de que los turistas toman foto de este puente. Los locales comparten vistas de, de la neblina, como dice aquí, ¿no? Pues, aunque podría bloquear el sol, no puede ser very sunny, warm, dry, no tiene nada que ver, noisy tampoco, puede tener que ser foggy. Y hay palabras que no conozco, por ejemplo, San Francisco is famous for its fog. Locals have even given it a name, Car the Fog. This playful nickname began on social media around 2010 when someone created a Twitter account pretending to be the city's fog. The posts, written in a humorous and sometimes dramatic style, quickly became popular. Since then, Car has also appeared on Instagram and other platforms, gaining thousands of followers. ¿Está acá? Todo check. Fog forms in San Francisco when warm inland, okay, he escuchado Iceland is, but inland, I don't know what does it mean. When warm inland air, vamos a buscar qué es inland. A ver. Vamos a buscar qué es inland. A ver. Inland. In the middle of a country, away from the sea. Y Iceland. Surrounded by water. Inland. In the middle of a country, away from the sea. Okay. When warm inland air, cuando el aire caliente está en medio del país, bueno, en este caso de la ciudad, meets cool, se vuelve frío, se empieza a congelar. Meets cool. Porque meets, vamos a ver, yo conozco meet como reunirse, pero to see and talk someone for the first time, conocerse, to come together with someone intentionally, reunirse, to fulfill, satisfy, or achieve, to pay, to wait a place for some, okay, to meet the airport, to touch or join in some, to experience something. Ya creo que está más relacionada a esto, to experience something. Met instead. To come together with another person, to be familiar, to join or touch, fair, achieve. It's like a noun, to arrange, to see, the result, satisfy a demand. Ok, creo que está como que experimentar. Bueno, ya. Meets cool. Experimenta. Se enfría. Ok. Slightly cold. Se enfría. Okay. So, fog forms in San Francisco when warm inland air meets cool, moist air meets cool, moist air from the Pacific Ocean. When warm inland Mercury, moist, okay, sin frío, moist air from the Pacific Ocean. Moist is like humedad, si me lo recuerdo. Moist. Ligeramente húmedo. Mojado, ligeramente mojado. Entonces acá lo que quería decir era fog forms in San Francisco when warm inland air meets cool, moist air from the Pacific Ocean. This happens most in summer when temperatures are much higher inland than along the coast. The temperatures are much higher inland, la zona más central de la ciudad, que a lo largo de la costa, along the coast. The fog can roll in quickly. Ya, esta palabra sí. Can roll. Can roll in quickly, covering bridge. Can roll in quickly. Can roll in quickly. What is that? What does it mean? Can roll. Puede moverse. To move somewhere. To move somewhere. Okay. The roll can move quickly. Puede moverse rápidamente. Can roll in quickly. Covering bridges, parks, and neighborhoods in a thick white blanket. Yeah, eso tampoco lo sé. Roll is like move. The fog can roll, the fog can move. A thick white blanket. No lo voy a resaltar eso también, porque no lo conocía. Esto solito. Este va. Yeah. Thick white blanket. Thick, que si me lo recuerdo es delgado, me parece. Having a large distance between two sides. No es delgado. Grueso. Ok, espeso, denso. Ya, pero no es este entonces. Difficult to see through. Thick. Not flowing easily. Okay. A thick white blanket. Thick. Espeso. Blanket. Okay. Blanket is toalla. Manta. Yeah. To cover something completely with a thick layer. Con una capa espesa. Partner in a thick white blanket. Fue una toalla gruesa, blanca. Toalla. Una manta que cubre Ok. Y vamos a ver. Vamos a buscar Car the Fog. Car the Fog. Car the Fog. San Francisco. Oh. Car the Fog has arrived. Oh. Yeah, we could see it. We can see it. Oh, yeah. Like it is a thick white blanket. Yeah. That's amazing. Like here, like this. Like this, maybe. Yeah. No, the photos are amazing about San Francisco. That's particular. So thick is like espeso, thick. Okay, new word for me. In a thick white blanket. From a distance, car appears as a thick cloud, but up close, pero cuando se acerca, entiendo, up close, but up close. Vamos a ver, up close. Oh, whoa, up close. From a short distance or near, but up close. But up close, okay. Pero de cerca, okay. From a distance, car appears as a thick cloud. No es espeso. But up close, it appears more like. Pero de cerca, but up close, it appears more like sprinkling rain or mist. Sprinkling rain. What is sprinkling? What does it mean? Sprinkling rain. Sprinkling? What is that? Small pieces or drops of something that are dropped over the surface. Good does sprinkling rain. Sprinkling rain. Freezing rain. Sprinkling. Sprinkling rain. Okay. Okay. According to AI, raining and sprinkling. A light rain that would not soak your clothes. Light rain. According to AI, very light sporadic fall of rain consisting of isolated tiny droplets. Light, okay? But when we searched a small light, okay, small pieces of rain, okay, like he appears more like sprinkling rain, a light rain, or mist. Let's check what mist means. A thin fog produced by very small drops of water collecting in the air just above an area of ground or water. Ah, thick. That is mist also. Thin fog. Okay, una neblina delgada produced by very small drops of water. Okay. But up close, he appears more like a sprinkling rain or mist. While some residents complain, quejan, complain is like, hard. Let's check. Sorry. Complain. Say that something is wrong or not satisfactory. Quejarse. Okay, quejarse. While some residents complain about the damp, what is damp? I don't know what is that. And chilly weather, complain about the damp. What does it mean? Damp. Slightly wet, especially in a way that is not pleasant or comfortable. Okay, slightly wet. Water in air. What does it mean? Humedad. Damp. Slightly wet, especially. Humid, moist. There are synonyms. Dampness. Damply. Oh, where can I see synonyms? Oh, synonyms. These are synonyms. Wet, moist, damp, soaked, húmedo, soak, full of or covered with liquid. Damp, húmedo. Okay, damp. Like wet. The washing is still wet. Moist. You must try the carrot cake. It's so moist and delicious. Húmedo. Damp. The towels are still damp. Damp, húmedo, slightly wet. Okay. Humedad. While some residents complain about the damp, and chilly weather, chili, red hot chili peppers. Weather conditions in a room or parts of body cold. Okay. Frío, okay. Red hot chili peppers. Okay. So, then I will try to understand what does red hot chili peppers, what does it means, or why they have chosen they chose this name. Okay. Chilly weather. Complain about the damp and chilly weather. Cold weather. Damp. About the damp and chilly weathers. Others enjoy the beauty and mystery it brings. Car fog has become a modern cultural symbol for the city. Tourists take photos of the misty Golden Gate Bridge. Golden Gate Bridge. El húmedo, perdón, el puente nublado con neblina. Vamos a buscar en internet con colores. Misty Golden Gate Bridge. Ese que vimos en las otras fotos también. Misty. Yeah, see, mist. Like thin fog. Neblina delgada. Misty. Yeah, misty. Nublado. The misty. It's a characteristic. It's an adjective of mist. So here is word mist. Word family. Word family. Yeah, mist is the adjective. Filled with or resembling mist. Blurred or indistinct. Yeah. Filled with fog. Okay. Tourists take photos of the misty Golden Gate Bridge, and locals share the car sightings. Sightings. Sight is like in Spanish, la vista, sight. The sight looks amazing. La vista. Sight. The ability to see, but it is the verb. Oh no. The ability to see. That's your sight. But something that is in someone's view. Uh, mm, 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 to suddenly see something. The ability to see. Sight. Okay. Interesting place. Locals share car sightings. Mhm. Online. The name and personality have even been used in books and art. Although car may sometimes block the sun, many people feel that San Francisco wouldn't be the same without its famous fog. Okay, so just fog. Because mist is uh, mist. It's like fog, but a thin fog. Yeah, thin fog. Delgado, no thick. But most likely means, okay, está relacionado. Perfecto. Regresamos al curso. Strategy. Ok, vamos a ver la estrategia. Follow these steps to approach vocab in contest tasks when you see them. First, identify the task. Locate the vocabulary term. Collect evidence. And select the most logical choice. Ok, esto sí vamos a llevar para allá. Esta parte sí es importante. Primero vamos a identificar la tarea. Okay, esto lo vamos a poner un poquito más abajo. Esto por acá. Perfecto. Y vamos a poner por aquí. Esto parece bien importante también. La estrategia. Identify the task. Locate the vocabulary term on the reading. Collect evidence. And the last step is select the most logical choice. Un poquito, ¿no? ¿Qué es lo que hicimos? The word misty. Bueno, teníamos que encontrar significado más probable, most likely means. Then we locate. Here is misty. Also, we looked for similar words on the text. We found mist. Then collect evidence. and at the end select the most logical choice. Okay, that is the strategy. Okay, now it's walk through. Y ahora sí, eso sí no sé qué significa. Walk through, a través del camino o en okay, la guía. Maybe, I don't know. Walk through. An occasion when you practice something, for example, a performance without an audience being present. A detailed set of instructions on how to do something. For example, use a computer program or game. Instrucciones. That is guía. Una guía. Yeah, a detailed set of instructions. Walk through. ¿Cómo se pronuncia? Walk through. Walk through.
Walk through.
Walk through. Okay, walk through. A guía. Step 1. Identify task. This is the vocabulary. This is a vocabulary in context task. Like we. Oh, sorry. Like our notes. Vocabulary in context task. Yeah, we are there. This is a vocabulary in context task because it asks about what the word most likely means. Okay. Then, step 2. Locate the vocabulary term. The word misty appears in paragraph 3, line 2. Tourists take photos of the misty Golden Gate Bridge, and locals share car sightings online. Step 3. Collect evidence. When you see these question times, look at the sentence before and after, and isolate keywords to collect clues. Paragraph 1, line 1. Locals have even given San Francisco famous fog for a name, car fog. We know the fog is thick clouds or sprinkling rain or mist. From description of cars' appearance in paragraph 2, line 4, we know from the damp and chilly weather. The damp paragraph 2, line 4. Yeah, line 4. Damp, chilly weather. Select the most logical. Step 4. Select the most logical choice. Now use the clues the clues you collected to guess the meaning of the word. The evidence doesn't reference sunny, warm, or dry weather. Noise describes sound, while fog is a weather pattern. If you didn't know that, you could instead notice that the passage doesn't mention anything about noise. The word misty most likely means foggy because it's used in reference to car San Francisco fog, and the passage reference mist, clouds, and damp and chilly weather. Conclusion, ya, este es un ejemplito de... Okay. Vamos a llevar el ejemplo también. Vamos a pegar acá al costado para que se vea como el ejemplo de la guía. Vamos a poner esto como el ejemplo. Y esto vamos a dar un poco más, a ver, para que... Ok, espacio. Está perfecto. Ok, vamos a conclusion. Figuring out vocabulary in context is a task that comes up in everyday life, no matter how much you learn or grow. even in a golden area of technology, where we can search words likely online, like we did. These skills is important to prevent disruptions when you are reading. When you come across a word you don't know, when you come across a word you don't know, use the clues around it to make a quick guess and keep reading so you still get the gist of the passage. Still get the significado. I'm sorry, what is the gist? The most important pieces, the most important pieces you can just so you still get the gist of the passage. You can always look up the meaning of a word when you're done. Okay. Entender el vocabulario en contexto es una tarea que aparece en la vida diaria, sin importar cuánto aprendas o crezcas. Aparece, siempre aparece. Incluso, even in the golden era of technology, we can search words quickly online. We can search. And this skill is important to prevent disruptions when you are reading. When you come across a word you don't know, use clues around it to make a quick guess and keep reading so you still get the gist of the passage and you can look up the meaning of a word when you are done. Great, that is a good conclusion. Let us copy. Maybe here. Yeah, that's great. Conclusion. Okay. Next lesson. What is the next lesson? So, vocabulary in context. Maybe to review the steps. Let's try to remember without watch. The first is identify the task. The second one, locate the term. The third one, it's like you locate. I think it's like look for clues, buscar pistas en oraciones antes y después, oraciones alrededor del término que ya hemos identificado dónde está. And the fourth one is like, I don't remember, maybe make a conclusion. Let's remember. Yeah. Identify a task, locate, collect evidence, select the most logical choice, the answer. Identify a task. Usually, well, it's about what the word most likely means. Locate, found in what part, in what paragraph, in what line is the term. Collect evidence, look sentences before and after, and then use these clues to guess the meaning of the word. Okay. Now we will continue with the next lesson, big picture reading strategy. ¿Es una estrategia? Big picture. No, está acá. También es un task. Big picture. So let's continue. Okay, next lesson. So now we are on big picture reading strategy. I think it's a bit similar. Okay. But vocabulary in context, relate, big picture, understand main ideas. Yeah, we found what are most likely meaning of a vocabulary of a word in a text, but now we should understand the main ideas. Okay, so let's start. Learn about big picture tasks on reading exams that assess your ability to identify the main idea of a text. Find strategy steps for approaching these tasks and walkthroughs on applying the steps. Test context. El contexto de la evaluación de la prueba. Big picture tasks are the ones that assess your ability to understand the main ideas and overall purpose of reading. Main ideas and the overall purpose of reading. The ability to take away the big picture is essential. To take away the big picture is essential in professional and academic contexts. Task components. Big picture tasks ask you to summarize the main idea in a passage. This task might look like: what is the passage mainly about? Which of the following best states the main idea of the passage? Best states the main best. Which of the following best states the main idea of the passage? And what is the purpose of this text? Okay, is the same sample. And what is the main focus of the passage? The weather patterns on California inland areas, the history and cultural meaning, the difference between summer, the dangers of driving in foggy nights, the weather pattern of California, but this not California, San Francisco. So that is the best question. Cultural meaning, yeah, the history, how, and that is explained here, how it began. Yeah. So identify a task, locate the terms, collect evidence, select. It's the same strategy. Identify a task, collect terms, locate the key terms. Pero acá no hay un. Ok. It's the main focus of the passage. No hay un término específico. The first sentence of a reading usually introduces a topic. Key terms are also ones that appear multiple times. Fog, for example. Key terms are also important words like cultural. Collect evidence. This playful nickname became car focus become modern cultural symbol. The name and personality have even been used in books and art. Although the passage is related to weather, it doesn't discuss summer versus winter. Yeah. That is not. It's also only discuss fog, no other weather patterns. There is no reference to driving condition. That's right. There is no reference about it. Both of them are not the answers. And okay, the passage does discuss the origin of the name card for San Francisco's folk, and the impact on tourism, social media, books, and art. The main focus of the passage is about the history and cultural meaning of Card the Folk because it mentions the names, origin on social media, and the reference on tourism, books, and more. Understanding the main point of a text is at the heart of big picture reading. By focusing on the core ideas of the passage or other piece of writing, one can isolate this information and use it as a summary of overall text. Depending on the type of the big picture takeaway, might be more focused on describing it on its purpose. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, big picture strategy is the same. Is the same that vocabulary in context. Identify task, collect evidence, select the most logical choice. El propósito, como dicen aquí, claro, el propósito en el anterior, en el vocabulary, es to answer what is the more likely meaning, mientras que aquí es entender the main ideas and overall purpose, el propósito de lectura. Vamos a apuntarlo eso capaz. A ver, algo súper rápido. Pero no toma mucho tiempo. Bueno, ya sabemos qué es encontrar. Vamos a copiar mejor. Big Picture Strategy es, vamos a estar new. Ok. Vamos a poner acá. Esto vamos a borrarlo. Un poquito más grande. Ya, Big Picture Reading Strategy. Assess our ability to understand the main ideas and the overall purpose of our reading. So, más o menos los hilos en las tareas. Made about, the main idea, the purpose. The strategy is the same. The walkthrough changed a bit because, yeah, tenemos que identificar, la tarea de identificar la idea principal. Tenemos que empezar a ver, ¿no? La primera pregunta, los términos que más se repiten, términos importantes, evidencia de los párrafos. Esto sí podemos ver porque ese ejemplo sí varía un poquito, ¿no? So, identify task, locate the term, collect evidence, and select the most logical choice. Voy a poner, ya, vamos a ver. Listo. Entonces vamos a ponerlo como el ejemplo. El ejemplo, por ejemplo, sí, esto sí. Ya. Ya. Ok, esto es Big Picture. Creo que está yendo tarea por tarea, ¿no? Ah, sí, mira, vocabulario, Big Picture, Detail, Reading Strategy, que es este de acá. Tenemos vocabulary, Big Picture. Ah, sí, test me quizás no se ha enfocado mucho en esto porque solamente completa tareas. Detail, negative statements, inference, debe ser inference, rhetorical, rhetorical. Okay. Gerunds. Okay. Ok. Vamos con la siguiente que es entonces Detailed Reading Strategy. ¿Este de qué era en detail? Era de ambos, ¿no? The Read in Daily Life and Read an Academic Discussion. For an Academic Discussion. Ok, vamos entonces con esta. Vamos a una pausa chiquita. Vamos a una pausa chiquita. Voy por un poco de agua y luego continuamos. Al menos para acabar este de aquí. Y el siguiente, que es Inference Reading Strategy. En este video y en el siguiente vamos a entrar acá. Yo creo que tranquilamente nos puede faltar un par de horas para acabar esto. Así que vamos a hacer lo posible para que sea el día de hoy. Hoy podamos terminar este capítulo 2. Y ya mañana empezamos con el capítulo 3 de 17. Bueno, vamos avanzando. Así que vamos a una pausa. Vamos a ver si la pausa se reproduce bien. Vamos a ver. Sí, perfecto. Veo que sí está reproduciendo bien. Así que voy a mutearme un rato y volvemos. Ok, amigos, ahora sí, regresamos. Vamos a configurar bien la pantalla para poder continuar. Vamos a poner esto por aquí. Ya, perfecto, ya estamos. Vamos a continuar con en donde nos quedamos. Habíamos visto vocabulary in context, habíamos visto big picture. Primero para poder encontrar el significado más probable que tenga un término. Big picture para poder encontrar las ideas principales, el objetivo, el propósito del texto. Así que vamos a continuar ahora que estamos viendo como que, como vemos, nos está mostrando, oye, esa es la tarea. Para cada tarea, ese es su contexto, estos son los componentes, más o menos cómo va a lucir la tarea, el ejemplo, la estrategia, el walkthrough, que es la guía, y una conclusión. Así que vamos a continuar. Vamos a compartir la pantalla. Perfecto. Vamos por aquí. Ya, luego voy a poner este mouse también. Voy a poner un efecto para que se pueda apreciar con mucha más facilidad. Y ahorita activo mi cámara para la pantalla compartida. Me voy por un poco de agua. A ver si ya estamos. Ya estamos muy bien. Ya, a ver, vamos entonces. Vamos a activar acá. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde estamos? Y ya estoy por acá. Ya estoy por acá. Listo. Entonces vamos a continuar. ¿Qué? Dijimos que hoy vamos a, bueno, en este video, en esta transmisión que va ya a 1 hora y 23, vamos a culminar Dealing Reading Strategy, Detailed Reading Strategy, que es otra de las tareas. Estamos acá en las tareas que apuntamos, ya vimos vocabulary, big picture, vamos a detail. Luego vamos a inference, que también era una tarea. Acá está inference. Así que vamos con estos dos y quizás vamos con este también. Vamos a acabar estas tres, ¿ya? Para que solamente nos queden 3, 6 y 7. Solamente nos queden 7 más. Así que, ya, mándenselo ahora. Detailed Reading Strategy. Learn about identifying details in reading comprehension passages. These strategy steps will help you quickly find answers, and the walkthrough will help you practice your skills. Okay. These strategy steps will help you quickly find answers, and the walkthrough will help you practice your skills. Test context. Detail. Detailed tasks are ones that assess your ability to understand the main ideas and the overall purpose of reading. Igual que el anterior, igual que el big picture. Locating details in a text is an essential skill in reading comprehension that shows up in classroom, at work, and your personal life. Task components. Detailed task ask you to summarize the main idea. This task might look like: what is the passage mainly about? Or what is the passage mainly about? Which of the following best states the main idea of the passage? Okay. Okay. El ejemplo sigue siendo el mismo y te dice: what causes the fog in San Francisco to form? What causes? Ok, ahorita vamos por la respuesta. Vamos con la estrategia. identify task, locate the detail, collect evidence. Vamos con... ok. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver. Solamente vamos a ver la pregunta, ¿ya? Para no llevar todo el texto otra vez. Estábamos en Big Picture, acá vamos a poner Detail. Vamos a poner Detail. Detail Reading Strategy. Ok. Esto por acá. Esto... oh, perdón. Eso se puede abrir desde cualquier lado. Parece que sí. No, yo creo que no. Ya. Sí. Sí. Un poco de miedo porque... ya. What causes the fog in San Francisco to form? Ya hemos visto, ¿no? Warm inland air meeting cool moist the ocean, the Pacific Ocean air. Yeah, is that. That is the answer. Creo que voy a poner de amarillo mejor porque creo que no se aprecia bien. Vamos a abrir. Está mejor. Bueno, para mí se aprecia bien, pero creo que por la pantalla no. Vamos a poner entonces otro color. El naranja no. Vamos a poner todo eso. Eh, este verde. Ya, se nota. Ya. ¿Qué nos dice en el Detail Reading Strategy? Ya vimos que lo que nos va a preguntar es sobre qué principalmente es el pasaje, en este caso, ¿qué causó? ¿Qué causa la neblina? Para que se forme. ¿Qué es lo que causa para que se logre formar? Entonces vamos a ver acá, ¿no? Perfecto. Acá sí nos piden más a detalle. Poder encontrar los detalles. Y como dicen aquí, la strategy es... tenemos que encontrar ese detalle. Locate the detail. That is the strategy. Locate the detail. Entonces, si ya sabemos que nos piden qué causa, tenemos que encontrar dónde está eso. Y bueno, en el texto, acá se menciona, ¿no? ¿Qué es lo que causa para que se forme? Fog forms San Francisco when War Island. Quiero ver si es Island o es Inland. Vamos a ver ya. Inland.
Inland.
Inland. Me equivocando de la pronunciación. Fog forms in San Francisco when warm inland air meets cool, moist air from the Pacific Ocean. Acá dice claramente que esto es lo que se forma cuando el aire caliente está en la ciudad se enfría, humedeciendo el aire del Océano Pacífico. Dice, esto pasa en verano, cuando las temperaturas son más altas. The temperatures are much higher inland than along the coast. En la costa, son más frías. En la ciudad, no. Más calientes, las temperaturas son más calientes. Entonces, este aire de la ciudad se vuelve fría. E incluso podemos, así por curiosidad, fog in San Francisco cause maybe there is an that is a great explanation. Maybe I think it is. I hope, and also maybe that. Yeah, that is the next one. Whoa. Less. Okay. There. Okay. Why is it so foggy, windy in the Bay Area? In short, because air is moving from the cold place, because it happens in summer in San Francisco. The temperatures are much higher than along the coast. So, as air moves over a cold ocean, condensation forms fog. Warmer temperatures cause cool air to move inland. This happens because high pressure cold air always flow through the low pressure. Upwelling in spring and summer makes water by coastline even colder. Super cold water, which cause more fog and wind. Wind or wind? Let me see. Wind or wind? I think it's wind.
Wind.
It's wind. Ocean air follows the path of least resistance, flowing through gaps like the Golden Gate Bridge. The San Bruno Gap, the Petaluma Gap. As inland temperatures increase in the afternoon, the difference between low and high pressures increase, which leads more wind. Depending on what is between you and ocean, fog, wind, and temperature can vary dramatically. So bring layers and expect heights to range from 100s to 50s. Okay. And here is another explanation. Why fog moves inland? First, winds circling clockwise around the Pacific High, a semi-permanent area of high pressure, push the ocean surface water south and away from the coast. The result current causes an upwelling of cold water. Okay. Clockwise, area, high pressure push ocean surface waters south and away from the coast. The cold water cools the air above it. The cold water cools the air above it, causing its moisture to condense into fog. Warm air in the sun-heated Central Valley rises and is gradually replaced by cool ocean air, drawing fog inland. Okay, that's a great explanation. So okay. When the temperatures are much higher inland than along the coast, the fog can roll in quickly, yeah, through the gaps, like here mentioned. Covering, yeah, and that is the answer. Walk through. Step 1. Identify a task. This is a detailed task because it asks for explicit information from the text. Detailed questions are usually WH questions. Locate the detail. Look for language from the question in the past. What caused the fog to form? Collect evidence. Paragraph 2, line 2 and 3. Fog forms when selected by choice. One in air meeting. Okay. Identify task. Localizamos. Recolectamos evidencia y seleccionamos. Ok. Ya. Incluso no podríamos evitar leer todo el texto, ¿no? Ya, tomando en cuenta los tiempos también, ¿no? Tomando en cuenta los tiempos que tenemos para resolver el examen. Okay. Work through. Identificamos, localizamos evidencia y seleccionamos. It is similar like the big picture. Identify, locate, in this case the main ideas. Collect, selectamos lógica. What's the question here? The same here. Identify, locate, collect, select the most likely choice. Okay. Conclusion. Identifying details is an essential skill in professional and personal contexts. On exams, it's important to know when a task is a detailed task because that means the answer is explicit in the passage. Use keywords to find the answer. Detailed questions are asking for literal information, so they are typically WH questions. Use the evidence to find the answer. Okay, next one. Inference reading strategy. Okay. Ok, vamos a continuar entonces con inference y dijimos está retórica. Ok, vamos con inference. A ver. So, let me see what time is it. Okay. Inference reading strategy. Learn about inference task. Inference task is one of the tasks that we reviewed. Vocabulary, big picture, detail was the last one that which we learned. Inference is now the one that we are learning. So learn about inference task in reading comprehension. See examples and learn strategies to approach these tasks. Then practice your skills with walkthroughs. Test context. Making inference is an important skill because we don't always have all the information. Inference task ask us to make predictions and draw conclusions by collecting and analyzing information. Unlike detailed questions, diferencia de las preguntas de detalle, difference from, I remember one video that we checked that, unlike, different from, the answer will not be in the passage. You'll have to think critically to figure it out. Task components. Inference questions usually ask a question that looks like a detailed question, but you won't be able to find the answer in the text. Inference tasks may look like detailed questions by starting with what, why, how, or they may ask, what is the most likely reason? Why do you think? There will be options that are all statements that could be true. There will be options that all the statements that could be true, but only the correct answer will have related evidence in the passage. Okay. So usually looks like a detailed questions, but you won't be able to find the answer in the text. What, why, how? That is inference. Yeah, and like it said, there will be options that are all statements that could be true. But only the correct answer will have related evidence. Will have related evidence in the passage. Okay. The same text. Why was the car fog? Why was the car fog account created? Why? Why was the fog account created? To attract tourists to San Francisco, to bring humor to bad weather. It was inspired by the annual summer festival. It was inspired by books and art. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, why? Let's start. Well, let's start. Vamos a todo otra vez para tenerlo en la mano. Now we have on big picture now and detail now. We are on inference. It could look like detail, but the options, the answer won't be able on the text, won't be able to find on the text. So let me sorry. How can I controls? Okay. Copy and paste. That is inference. Okay. Okay. Why? We didn't check the strategy, and we didn't check the walkthrough, but now will uh, we will try to find the answer, and then we will check the strategy and the walkthrough. Okay, why? Display full nickname began social media when someone created a Twitter account pretending to be the city. The post, written a humorous and sometimes dramatic style, quickly became popular. Since then, Carol has also appeared on Instagram and other platforms. For forms, okay, from a distance, but up close, he appears. While some residents, okay, Carol have become a modern cultural symbol for the city tourists. The name and personality have even been used in books and art. Ya acá está la parte. Ya, esa está mal. The name and personality have even been used in books and art, but it was inspired by books. No, the car the fog inspired books and art, but it wasn't inspired by books. It inspired books. So that is incorrect. In, there isn't a paragraph mentioned inspired by an annual summer festival. No? Maybe to attract tourists to San Francisco, maybe, or to bring humor to bad weather. Yeah. But why not mention that the reason was to attract tourists? No, the post, yeah, pretending to be a city, post written in a humorous and dramatic style, quickly became popular and gaining thousands of followers. Like mentioned here, humorous, post, humorous, bad weather while some residents complain about what others enjoy. Beauty and mystery. It became a more cultural symbol. Yeah, I think it's that. Let's check. I think let's check. Let's check the strategy. Yeah, identify task, collect and select. Yeah, the same strategy. Identify. Collect evidence. Well, the task before is identify, locate, collect, and select. In this case, identify, we want locate because the answer is not exactly in the text, but we will collect evidence. And the last one is select. Okay, walk through. Follow the strategy steps below to approach inference task in the TOEFL reading section. Why was the card fog account created? This is an inference task because it asks the reader to use evidence to find an answer that is not explicitly mentioned in the text. The reader should think about what they learned in the reading to form an educated guess. Should think what they learned in the reading to form an educated guess. What they learned. While some residents, paragraph 2, collect evidence. Some residents complain about the damp and chilly weather, others enjoy. I thought Carmen exploit the sound, many people think San Francisco wouldn't be the same without its famous fog. There is no evidence related to summer festival. The passes mention tourists visiting the old Gate Bridge, but doesn't suggest the car fog account encourages tourism. The passes mention that the account has inspired books and art because the account was created first, before these books and art. Most likely, the account is a way to joke about the chilly and dark weather that comes with the fog to lighten the mood during the gloomy San Francisco summer. What is gloomy? And happy. Oh, the happy during the. Oh, that is a triste, okay. Melancholic, sombrío, the gloomy San Francisco summer. Interesting. Yeah. We did a good. Identify, collect evidence. Yeah, we collect the same evidence. I think. We also humorous también. Others enjoy. What is the other one? Wouldn't be would wouldn't be the same without its famous fog. Yeah. Okay. Conclusion: inference tasks are manageable as long as you collect evidence. Unlike other question types, an explicit answer won't be in the passage, even though it may look like the task to find an answer. You should actually reflect on your learning to complete the text. Reflect. What is reflect? Gloomy. Gloomy. Reflect. Yeah, but I understand. Vamos a poner el ejemplo aquí. La guía, walk through a set of instructions. Collect evidence, select. Okay. Yeah, I think the conclusion also is important here. Maybe, let me see. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reduce the size and I will put it here. Okay, conclusion. Walking through sample question. Okay. Are manageable as you collect evidence. As are manageable as long as you collect evidence. Importance: collect evidence, like the step 2, collect evidence. Unlike other question types, different from other question types, an explicit answer won't be in the passage, even though it may look like the task is to find an answer. You should actually reflect on your learning to complete. Yeah. Okay, that's great. Inference. collect evidence. Inference, collect evidence. The task before, detail. Yeah, identify task, locate detail. We'll collect evidence and then choose the best choice. On big picture, the same. Identify, locate the key terms. In this case, key terms because it is about main ideas of reading. Locate key terms, collect evidence, select, and vocabulary. Identify, locate the term, collect evidence, sentence after or before, and select. Yeah, the strategy is really similar. Collect, locate, identify task, locate the term, or identify key terms, collect evidence, and select. Yeah. In this case, identify, then it's collect, but in the before, locate the detail because it is about detail reading, or like in big picture, locate key terms, but different to big picture, well, different to detail. Yeah, the information is on the text, and on inference, no. We will collect evidence according what we learned. We will answer the question. Great. Next one. Rhetorical purpose reading strategy. Okay. Let's continue. Oh, what is that? Oh, the next lesson is close reading versus big pictures reading strategy. Yeah, we will do until rhetorical purpose. The next video we will do that, and that. Then that, and that, and there will be a video only about only on the practice chapter exam, a video especially for that. Okay, so let us start with rhetorical purpose reading. That is a new one. Oh, let's check rhetorical purpose reading. Okay. Learn about rhetorical purpose tasks con la S al final, in reading comprehension. See examples and learn strategies to approach these tasks. Then practice your skills with walkthroughs. Task context. Have you ever wondered why did she choose that word? That questioning is questioning rhetorical purpose. While inference tasks push us to draw conclusions about the meaning of the text, give facts, rhetorical purpose tasks focus on the word or expression on the role words or expression play on the meaning of the text. These tasks are also questions followed by plausible options. However, they focus on either the author or the impact of a particular word or phrase. Rhetorical purpose task might look like: why does the speaker or author mention? The options will be related to the larger themes in a work or role that the word explanation plays. Mhm. Okay. Why does the speaker mention that? The options will be related to a larger themes in a work or a role that word or expression plays. Okay, so the focus is on the role of the word or expressions on the meaning of the text. Okay, let's start. Why does the author mention social media accounts? Oh, okay, that's great. Yeah, let's let's look what again rhetorical question. To make a statement that doesn't expect an answer. Okay. Okay. Let's start the sample. The same text we will do until here. Yeah, that is a good sign. The strategy is before is after. So why we will check the strategy and the work through after uh, have an answer. Okay. Why does the author mention social media accounts? To show that fog is used to advertise local business? No. To explain how the fog became well known, popular? To show how the fog affects internet commerce? No. To compare the fog and other famous weather patterns? No, they mention social media because it's where it started. Yeah. How? How car the fog became popular? It is because it was on social media. Yeah, someone created a Twitter account. The person posted. Um, since then, well, also appear on other social media, gaining thousands of followers. So that is the reason why it is well known and it is popular. Yeah. Why mention social media? Yeah, yeah. Like in this case, said no. Um, Focus on the role of the word. What is the role of the word of social media account? The role is why the author used this word. The author used this word because it's a word um, that show the reason why the car the fog or the fog became popular. So let's start with strategy. Identify a task, locate the term, collect evidence, the same. This is a rhetorical purpose task because it asks why author includes specific information. Locate the term. Social media is a reference in paragraph 1, line 2 and 4. collect evidence. Yeah, don't reference local business, other web patterns, or internet. Yeah, thus discuss the card. The folk began Twitter and popularity grew thanks to entertainment posts and social media. Yeah, humorous and dramatic style post. The author mentions social media to share that the card folk because they explain how it originated on Twitter and grew in popularity when humorous posts spread on social media. Yeah, right. Yeah. The same. Identify, collect evidence, what locate the term, in this case social media. Count, collect evidence, and select the most logical choice. Okay, that is great. Sample question we will put here the walkthrough. Yeah, the strategy, the walkthrough are similar in these tasks. Yeah, maybe for this reason they um, put in the chapter in this way, starting with that task with the same strategy, also similar strategy. Okay. Conclusion. Rhetorical purpose tasks are similar to inference, but focus on language and expressions. Yeah, in inference also, the information is not in text. Yeah, in this case, yeah, it's on text. We will inference, but inference not an idea. It's inference about the expression, the language, the word author chose, and the ideas they decide to highlight, or all intentional and have an impact on this. Rhetorical purpose tasks push us to analyze the text, and draw those conclusions using evidence. Yeah, there is evidence on the text. There is evidence. Okay, let's put it like inference, but it is like inference, like they said, but inference. Um, yeah, we will collect evidence. Yeah, but it is the focus of it is on language expression, the language, the expression, social media. Why the author mentioned that? Yeah, and the last in this case was why. It's about an idea. Why was the card folk account created? They look an explanation of why what is created in these cases. Um, why a word or an expression was mentioned in the text? What is the role of this word and expression on the text? So we finish it. We finished this. We finished these classes, these lessons. In the next video, we are 2 hours. On the next video, we will continue with that close reading versus big picture reading strategies. Yeah, we will continue on it. Doing that, yeah, it's a bit short also. So, no, I think it is a famous, maybe it's a famous book. I think. Or maybe no. Okay, we will check in the next video. So, in the next video, we should finish that, retrieving information quickly, skimming and scanning, active reading definition, citation example, um, and also the next three lessons on the next video. So after the next video, we will finish the practice chapter exam. Yeah, and then continue with reading, and then continue with reading, and then continue with reading, and then listening, and writing, and speaking. Okay. Okay. So let me see. Ok. Así que chicos, bueno, hemos terminado esta parte. Ya nos vemos en el siguiente video para continuar con la revisión, con el aprendizaje de las demás clases. Igual al iniciar el siguiente video vamos a revisar un poco de todo lo que hemos aprendido, la similaridad en las estrategias, en las guías, en los walkthroughs que tenemos en estas tareas. Solo así un repasito rápido para vocabulario, big picture, detail, inference and rhetorical. 5 tareas de las cuales hemos conocido un poco más de sus estrategias y sus guías, ¿no? De cómo abordarlos. Algo muy rápido nada más. Identificar la tarea, localizar los términos, localizar el término, localizar términos clave. Luego de localizar los términos clave, recolectar evidencia, collect evidence, y al último poder escoger la respuesta más probable, la más adecuada. Así que, bueno, hemos avanzado bien el día de hoy. Vamos a continuar en el siguiente video con todo lo demás. Muchas gracias.